Hello gamers, this is Pet from gamerpet.com and welcome to vlog number 7. In this episode we're going to talk about BioShock Infinite review. You know, my review that I've done for BioShock Infinite. The reason, it's because I feel that I need to make some things clear. Because I've been getting a lot of hate because of that review. And I realized after, I'm doing the reviews and I'm learning with each review. I'm learning more stuff. You might also figure it out that I'm not a native English speaker, so I'm doing a lot of mistakes, and I'm also using words that for me are not really meaning what it means for an American or an English person, like the word fuck or like the word overrated, right? And I've been using those two words a couple of times, and I've been told it's not really a good idea. So, okay, I'm trying to... I should have taken a more passive approach on doing the BioShock review, because it's not really a bad game, it's an okay game, but it's not on what people have been saying. And when I say this, I mean this is my opinion. And when I'm doing reviews, my mission is to be honest on giving you my opinion. I'm trying to present you the game as best I can, and then I'm going to give you my opinion. And it is something that I want to do, because while I'm watching some others people review, like watching IGN's review, not sure why you're going to do that, GameSpot reviews and so on, they are only presenting you the game, and then at the end you see a rating. It's like, okay, you presented the game and then you gave it a rating, but I still want to hear an opinion, your gamer opinion, not journalistic. Again, I'm not a journalist, I'm a gamer, and I want to give you my gamer opinion. And the reason why I've been using the F word way too much, I've started the recording about 4 times. Normally I only use it like 2 times, but then doing it again and again and again, I was like, fucking shit, let's finish this shit. And it might have been a bit, yeah, no, it's not might, it surely was a bit too aggressive. I was saying at the end that the game deserves the word fuck. Like, other games do not deserve a review. BioShock Infinite deserves a review, but it deserves the word fuck in it. So people will pay attention. Like, I haven't used the word fuck, so hey, people will pay attention. I've only used it because that's how I felt. And because people have been praising the game like, oh my god, it's so great, and I'm sure because of the hype and because the game received a lot of 10 out of 10 game of the year, and there isn't a game that's 10 out of 10. I've been reading some other reviews after I wrote mine, and reviewers intentionally, or maybe not intentionally, they forgot to mention some of the flaws of the game. And I can't understand, like, some people mentioned the flaws, yet still gave it a 10 out of 10. And that's something that's clicking in my mind. Why? Unless you received money for that review. How can you talk about some flaws and yet be 10 out of 10, it's so great? And this is the problem with the hype, usually. This is why I said it's overhyped. Because people are in that hype, they are, oh my god, it's so great, it's so great. I remember, like, how many years it was? Wasn't it 2006? When Red Hot Chili Peppers' album Stadium Arcadium came out, people were like, oh my god, this is the best album ever. I listened to it, and the problem, like, while the album had like 5 good songs, since the album had like 22 songs, the album kind of blended in. And the overall rating of the album, in my opinion, it wasn't really such a great album, but people were still like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Same thing with Skyrim. While Skyrim is awesome and I enjoyed Skyrim, it's not perfect. And one of the reasons is that, for me at least, I've been playing a lot of side quests, so many side quests that they started to repeat themselves, and then I triggered in my mind. I didn't know that the random questing existed, so I did this before, like, okay, let's go to the mountain. I've only been doing 4 main quests and then only side quests. Go to the mountain, I do the chain, I kill the dragon, of course, and at the end, no cinematic. And I was like, okay, that was it? Am I going to hit escape and quit the game now? Like, and the reason why I'm mentioning Skyrim is because when Skyrim came out, people were like, oh my god, Skyrim's so great, so great. But then after some time, they were like, yeah, it's still great, but it's not 10 out of 10, you know? That's what I want to say. BioShock. I'm going back to BioShock now. Yes, I've said that I could have been more passive, but some people, which is my fault, I have not been stating my problems with the game clearly. Like, some people are still hooked on the idea that I didn't enjoy the game because I only had 2 weapons and I had problems with the ammunition. That's not really the main problem. Another person said that he closed the review after I said that I haven't played BioShock 1 and BioShock 2, and he closed the review and said that he realized that it was a biased review. I always take the product for what it is, not for what the other product was in the past. So, which is kind of hard to do. When a new music album comes out, I'm taking that album for what it is and not for what the band used to do in the past. Because that way, you are not going to have surprises, or at least you are going to stop having those, oh my god, it's so awful, I was expecting something else. Same thing here. I didn't enjoy BioShock 1, I said why, and I played BioShock Infinite and I took the review and I said my opinions on what BioShock Infinite was. At the end of the review, I said that after playing BioShock Infinite, it made me realize how better BioShock 1 was. Because in BioShock 1, you had different options. You have different decisions to make. In BioShock Infinite, you have no decisions. You are on a predefined path, like on a train, on a railroad, and you go. And you go. Which is not really a problem, because I've played good linear games. It's on how is your trip on that path. And for me, while I enjoy the art, again, the art in BioShock Infinite is beautiful. You can see that they have people working on that universe. The music was nice, except the combat music. It is something that I realized after talking with some people, that maybe I didn't enjoy the combat because of the music. Do you remember the music? Whenever it started the combat, you had like tum, 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 music, and then when the combat ended, you had that violin going like. Do you remember it? I don't want to look for it if I still have the recordings. Sometimes you kill 2 people, the music starts, and then it ends. And because of that, I think in my mind it gave me the feeling that open world, you explore, you are in the story, combat and over, and you are like, why this just happened? Maybe this is a point that made me not really enjoy the combat. Another thing is with voxophones. I noticed voxophone and I said that developers are putting this in order for you to find an achievement, and if you find all of them, and it will basically make you want to explore, and people like, yeah, they've been doing this for years, that's not the problem. I'm not having a problem that there are stuff to find around, and if you find all of them you get an achievement. That's not the problem. The problem is that in BioShock Infinite you find journals of characters from the game, which is still okay, but those bits of journal are basically part of the story, are basically part of your character interaction. What happens if I don't find that bit of story? What happens if I don't find the journal? I'm missing part of the story and I'm missing part of the interaction. And that's my problem, not that they are using this kind of stuff. Like, for example, I'm playing Call of Duty as Gunslinger right now, and they have secrets like that. You can collect cards, and if you find that card, you can read more about Billy the Kid or different events. But it's not super important. It's not stopping your character progression. It's not stopping your interaction with the game. It's just there for you to find. If you find it, okay. If you don't, okay. With BioShock Infinite, I'm feeling that I'm missing part of the story. Yes, it made me want to explore. I was looking around. And this is also the thing. A journal is a guy, a voxophone is a journal from a guy, from a character, that's basically 10 to 15 seconds long. It's not like a huge part of the deal. And this might be my problem. Like, I'm actually sitting, listening to what he's saying, because if I'm getting outside, I risk on getting into combat and the combat will overwrite with him talking, and I won't be able to hear what the character is saying in his journal. So I'm just sitting, listening to what he's saying and trying to think on what he's saying. It's only 15 or 10 or 15 seconds, so it's not a lot. I'm trying to process, and I'm going outside to combat. The music starts, and then what did he said? So I'm not finding voxophones a good way to tell a story, and that was the problem why I mentioned the voxophones. They also said something about the upgrades. I'm not enjoying the upgrade system. I always thinking like, should I upgrade now? I'm upgrading. I place points in pistol. I don't actually like pistol. I like the hand cannon. I want to use the hand cannon more. And some people use the argument, what other game is using upgrades for weapons? I'm going to give you an example. Tomb Raider. Yes, different kind of game. It's a third-person adventure. Whatever. It's giving you an option to upgrade your items. I personally prefer to play Tomb Raider with the bow. I upgraded my bow, but I had extra points to upgrade other guns, and it was nice to be able to upgrade other guns that I might not want to use. Also, Tomb Raider is allowing me to use 4 weapons. BioShock is only allowing me to use 2 weapons. Besides that, yes, it's normal, but as I said, Tomb Raider, I like to play with the bow. I'm changing the bow because sometimes with the bow you miss, so I need to use something like a machine gun or a pistol. So I'm intentionally switching the weapon to something that's more reliable during the combat. I'm having more choices. With BioShock you only have 2. Besides that, yes, it's normal for the bullets to end at some point if you are still using that. But I never had a problem with bullets in Tomb Raider. I always had arrows, I always had bullets. It wasn't like, oh shit, I'm forcefully stopping me to use the weapon that I like just so I use the older weapon, so I will basically balance the stuff. And that's why I noticed that, that's why I said so much things about the weapons, only 2 weapons, and the guns. So people have been also saying that I didn't know how to play it. Probably people are playing games in different ways. Like you, for example, looked that a Patriot has a weak spot in the back and you went to shoot there. I didn't care for that. I didn't feel that I need to care for that. Does it make me a bad player? Maybe, but it's not a competitive game. It's a player on how your experience you are having with the game. And for me, as I've said, it was interesting. That's the thing. I was playing the game at night. It was dark with the headset on because I wanted to get into the game. At first, I was going after voxophones, opening them, looking for secrets, looking everything. And then combat, which for me was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Someone even said, like, have you even used Elizabeth abilities other than cover? Like, yes, I did. And I didn't actually found that too interesting, to be honest. Like, Elizabeth, go there! And she's doing that thingy or whatever you need in that fight. Yes, I did it occasionally, but some other people, I've been saying in the review that other games like Half-Life and the Max Payne series have integrated the combat good with the story, and his counter argument to me was, yeah, Max Payne, a third-person shooter, doing comparing it with BioShock Infinite, who's the first-person shooter. Like, really, that's your thingy? It's still a shooter. It's about the story and the interaction with the different type of the game. A game has music, art direction, sound, story, and gameplay. Like, if one of those chains is broken, it doesn't matter, especially if the gameplay is broken. It's not going to matter if you got bored. Like, okay, plot twist at the end, wow, but I still got bored for 7 hours of the game. And that's something to say something bad about the game. Sometimes when a thing is more predominant than the other, you can ignore other parts of the game. Like, for example, you can ignore awful graphics if the game was nice and it hooked you. For example, State of Decay. Yes, that game had a couple of problems. Yes, some people didn't really like that game because they thought it was something else. But that game made me dream about the game. It hooked me for 10 hours. And then I finished it. I felt that, hey, story was lacking there and there. But 10 hours I was in that game. And it had bad graphics. Well, not really bad, but it had problems with the animation. You can see that they didn't have like a huge budget. But still the game hooked me. It's not a perfect game. It's not a 10 out of 10 game. But still, it's about being realist about the game. Then other people have been saying like, I had the problem that I didn't understand the story. Again, people are going back to that story. That I haven't seen the symbolistic of the game and stuff like that. It doesn't matter. That's not my problem. I've been seeing stuff, but it doesn't matter if you saw the stuff, if the gameplay broke you and made you think about stuff and it bored you to death, which happened to me in BioShock Infinite. Yeah, it was nice, but then again, the combat started, and for me it wasn't smart combat. So in the end, yes, I could have been more passive. I could have stated my points better. I've been reading, I've been reading some articles on how to do the reviews better, and for me as a personal, it's okay because I'm still learning from the stuff. So yeah, BioShock Infinite review has been done. I've done it. I'm moving forward. I've learned something from it. People didn't enjoy it. Some people didn't enjoy it actually. I received a couple of messages saying that good job, Pat, for saying that BioShock is bad. Like I'm talking strictly on how I presented my review. And on that point, I will work on doing my future reviews better, because I see that people are, for example, even if you make a bad criticize about a game that people love, I could have still be more casual and more passive and trying to state the problems of the game in a more okay way, so people will actually stay and listen and not use the word fuck so much and and stuff like that, basically. So yeah, anyway, that's the reason why I made the BioShock Infinite review, because I wanted people to know that the game is not perfect. I wanted people to know that my opinion is that the game is not perfect. If the game would have had the rating of 8.5, fine. I wouldn't have that many problems with the game. Not that I would have enjoyed it or not, but I wouldn't have been that aggressive. I guess that I've been that aggressive because the game has been, in my opinion, too hyped, which is usually, it happens a lot. But come on, I've been looking on Metacritic, which is like a fucking thing. It doesn't even matter the rating that much, but there were tons of reviewers at 10, 100 rating, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Then Metacritic is also taking the 5 stars review as a 10 out of 10. But when you use 5 stars reviews, and if you are giving 5 stars to a game, it doesn't mean that it's perfect. But they are counting it as a 10 out of 10. It's really, and again, I've been reading some reviews, and there are reviewers who have neglected important facts about the game. They were still like, the story is so great, the art is so great. Yes, but my job as a gamer, as a reviewer, even that, again, I'm doing reviews because I want to state my honest opinion, and not because, oh, a reviewer should be like that. I'm splitting the game into all areas. I'm trying to judge the game by all areas and the interaction between those areas. I'm not giving ratings to graphics, sound, or stuff like that. I'm trying to see exactly how the game was built and how the integration between those areas have been. And in my opinion, again, the BioShock Infinite has failed on that gameplay thing, the gameplay mechanics and the combat. While yes, the graphics were nice, the music was nice, the story was interesting, there it broke. Anyway, I'm repeating myself. I just wanted to make this clear. I'm not sure who's going to watch this. So thank you guys for watching this BioShock Infinite review update. I hope you got it right. I hope you are more aware. I'm aware. I'm still learning. I've been doing reviews since January this year. It's 6 months in. This was like my sixth review or something, and I've been experimenting on how to do the reviews. Like the first review of Football Manager, I haven't wrote anything down. I only talked freely, and I talked for more than 20 something minutes. And after I finished the review, I was like, yeah, this was not really bad. I even have my first review that I did in December, and that's not active. I'm never going to publish that review because it's awful because of the editing and all that stuff. People don't realize how hard this is. Then I've done the Far Cry 2 review, which I was happy with it. It took me like more than 1 month to actually make the courage on starting on doing it, and I've done it, and it was okay. I can say I'm happy with it. Then I've done I get this call every day review. I should have made that video as a first look. It was a short game. I made that video because I wanted to share other people, guys, support this developer, buy this game for $2, even that it's a $10 game. It was a fun game for 10 minutes, and I was like laughing my ass off. Well, the Walking Dead review, it was a harder review to make because I didn't want to spoil people at all. I haven't even mentioned Clementine at all. I was talking about how the interaction was, how the game was integrating. That's a game where you follow a predefined path, right? You can do some small changes, like some decisions, but in the end, you will still reach that point. But the story, the journey was awesome. Yes, I know it's a different type of game, like BioShock is a FPS anyway. Tomb Raider, it was an okay review. It also took me a long time to start it. I felt it was okay. Maybe it could be better. Little Inferno review, it was made more as a first look. I only talked about the game freely, not like I'm doing now and then editing the stuff. It was just directly. State of Decay review, I felt it was okay, even that the audience retention goes to about 15% after some point. I saw that some people don't actually, they are skipping basically to where I show gameplay. So I should actually start things different, because they go like this where I talk, I show gameplay, they go like this, and then, which is normal, they go down. Kingdom Rush Frontiers review, it was a bit annoying for me to do because it had a problems with the iPad recording, but I'm not really proud of that one. Heavy Rain review, it was a strange review because I didn't have any gameplay, so I talked about the game freely. I tried to talk freely about the game, and I don't know, it was okayish, I guess. And then the BioShock Infinite review. So as you can see, I don't have too much experience with reviews, and I'm learning every day. Like, people have to realize that it's taking some time. It's a process. Like, I'm saying that this is my job. It is my job. I'm not making any money with it yet, but it's what I want to do. And in order to reach that thingy, it's going to take some time. So hopefully, maybe in, who knows, 2 years, I will look at this video and I was like, oh my god, Pet, you are such a retard. You were such a noob, and maybe I will learn something again. So thank you guys for watching this vlog. If you watched it, it was a bit long, but it was an update I had to do. So I'm preparing to do an update for Company of Heroes 2, a first look. I think I don't have time for a review, and I've done some Dota 2 videos again. Learn Dota 2 with Pat. Troll Warlord is just up with Lion also, and I'm going to record the Dragon Knight, and I will see exactly what else is happening. I was planning on doing some first look on some older games, because there are a lot of games in the past that you need to check them up. Especially I was thinking on making not a first look, but a new show called like The Blast from the Past or something. I actually installed Divine Divinity, a game that I enjoyed 11 years ago, and I was thinking on doing a video with that. I don't know, I'll have to see. So thank you guys for watching. I'm waiting for your suggestions. Again, I'm open to suggestions, constructive criticisms, please. I know that my English is bad. If you want to talk about my English, tell me mistakes I do. Like a friend of mine told me that, why do I say honest? It's honest, not honest. And I said, okay. And every time I'm using the word honest, I'm saying it at honest and not at honest. And that was a constructive criticism. So again, thank you. See you in my next video. Goodbye.